in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health.
When you die, are you going to heaven or not? You can know for sure. heavenornot.net.
Iron Man.
Hey, what's up? You see me at my very most butch.
Tomorrow on ET, it's our epic Marvel Super Show. First on set of all your favorite MCU films.
Welcome to New Asgard.
And hanging with the stars before they were marvelous.
You know what? It's because I needed the orange ball. That was the green ball.
Come on, bowling with Captain America, we've done it all. We leave you now with an ET evolution that led to a Kennedy Center honor. The one and only Mr. George Clooney. Take care, everybody.
I'd love to keep working. Getting paid to do this is such a treat. You know, it's like getting paid to eat ice cream. I hope that it works out. I'd love to stay on the show. They're terrific.
More than 35 years ago, there was The Facts of Life. Then came Roseanne and ER.
His heart is racing.
Who could forget Batman and Robin?
Help me save another life.
Of course, there's all 3 Oceans films, rom-coms, and movies with a message like Syriana. Tomorrow on CBS Georgia.
Happening now.
The holiday woes continue. Thousands of flights have been canceled, Southwest leading the charge. Coming up, an updated statement from the airline. We also speak with those traveling or trying to travel right here at our airport.
And it looks like our streak of freezing mornings is coming to an end. I'll be back to talk about how much warmer it's going to get in the days ahead and if there's any chance of rain in just a bit.
The late architect Andy Perez knew there was much more to San Antonio's history than what happened here at the Alamo.
People kind of buried the fact of the true history of San Antonio.
But first at 5, tonight a fire on the far southwest side destroyed one home and damaged another this afternoon. It happened in the 6100 block of Lawn Valley Drive, just inside Loop 410 near Old Pearsall Road. That fire displacing at least one person tonight, but Garrett Berger tells us that may not have been his home to begin with.
Yeah, we're going to show you the inside of this house. This is a complete loss. You can see inside nothing but charred remains and the foam from what firefighters had to do to fight this blaze. Now, there was a man here at the time of the fire who got out safely. He says he stays here with his son who wasn't home. But a woman claiming to be the homeowner also showed up and says no one was supposed to be staying here and that they were not renting it out or allowing anyone to stay, and that those people were squatting. Now, the San Antonio Fire Department says the units involved showed up to this house and it was already fully involved, and they had to fight to keep the flames off the house to either side. A man and 2 dogs inside got out safely, the fire department told us. That man saying he thinks the fire started because of a heater, which he believes the dogs kicked a blanket over.
I was in the couch asleep. Yeah, that's when it caught on fire. When I got up, I looked and I got some water, so I tried to turn it off, but it was too late.
Well, he told us it was an electric heater. Both he and the woman claimed to be the homeowner said there wasn't any power to the house. We did just talk with some family members of the purported homeowners who say that sounds like the meter had been tampered with. The San Antonio Fire Department said a fire investigator was on scene. Now, the home next door, we're going to give you a look at that. It had some damage to the eaves, and right over here you can see their power box as well. Originally, weren't sure if they were going to be able to stay, but we just talked with the neighbors. They say that CPS was able to come over and fix the issue, so they'll be staying in their home at least. Live on the southwest side, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Garrett. Turning to weather now. It was a beautiful day, sunny, blue skies. We started at freezing today, Adam. Was that the end of the freezing cold mornings?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, at least for the time being, for the foreseeable future. 32 degrees, briefly a light freeze earlier this morning, and then by the afternoon with that sunshine, We made it up to 60 with bright sunshine. Eagle Pass up to 68. Warren's backyard, Del Rio, 64 degrees right now. Helotes currently around 60, and along with Bernie as well, New Braunfels at 60 degrees. And as we go through the evening, we'll have some thin clouds moving overhead right now. They're actually, if you look up, you'll see them currently. It's just going to last a few hours. Otherwise, mostly clear. South wind at 5 to 10 and temperatures gradually falling through the 40s. By 8 o'clock, 49. 10 o'clock will be at 45 degrees, and I do think we'll be just above freezing come tomorrow morning with a bit of a warming trend on the way. We'll talk about that, and we can finally put the lip balm away because we'll get some more humidity in the air. We'll time that out for you in just a bit, Tim.
All right, we'll see you in a bit, Adam. An update now on that boil water notice in effect for Texas water utility customers. Right now, the water's still not safe for consumption, but the utility has collected samples in areas where pressure has returned, and right now they're waiting to get those results back. If this affects you and you live in the Oak Ridge Estates, there is a bottled water distribution site at the address there on your screen at 166 Oak Ridge Drive. You can find this information also over at KSAT.com. Let's take a look at your traffic tonight on this Tuesday. Pretty slow going out there again tonight. Not much traffic, many people off this week. More problems today for people looking to catch a flight. There have been thousands of flight delays and cancellations across the country, including 29 right here at San Antonio International Airport. That's where we find John Paul Barajas tonight. John Paul, are there a lot of people waiting around the airport tonight?
Tim, lots of frustration and long lines fill the San Antonio International Airport. And as of 10:30 this morning, across the country, 2,900 flights were canceled. 2,500 of those all Southwest, according to FlightAware. And if you follow me this way, you can take a look at their flight board. Nearly every single one of their flights says canceled. In a statement, Southwest says, with consecutive days of extreme weather across our network behind us, continuing challenges are impacting our customers and employees in a significant way that is unacceptable, and our heartfelt apologies are just beginning. Their CEO adds they will consider any additional costs customers have incurred, including meals, hotels, and transportation. And as Tim mentioned, here at San Antonio International Airport, we're told 29 flights have been canceled within the 24-hour period from noon yesterday to noon today. Now, somebody who's dealt with those cancellations here locally is Janelle's sister, who has been trying to get home since Christmas night. Talk to us about what you guys have experienced.
Yeah, so my sister was supposed to fly out on Christmas night, and we didn't know that her flight was canceled until we literally got here. So it's been really stressful. We've had to book like hotels to stay here, and all of them have been booked. So we got a flight today, actually, after they said that we couldn't get one until Thursday. So we just said, okay, we're done with Southwest. So she got a flight with Alaskan Airlines. So shout out to Alaskan. It wasn't cheap. I mean, it wasn't outrageous, but it was another cost that I had to add that we're probably not there. She's probably not going to get reimbursed for. And she lives in Seattle, so she had already like a lot of plans made, and now it's kind of all going down the drain and stuff. And now we're worried her luggage might get lost too.
And you guys originally started with Southwest. Have you been able to get in contact with them at all?
No, I mean, every time we like call them, it's like 3 hours on wait, and then the question never really gets answered, and then we get like hung up on. So I don't know, it makes me question if it's actually like a winter storm that they're saying, or if it's like something else, because it seems like no other airlines are having issues except Southwest.
Appreciate the time, Janelle. We're going to toss it back to you guys. Also, now an investigation going to be launched into Southwest and what caused all these delays. Back to you.
Yeah, John Paul, several flights still canceled already tomorrow. I dealt with that with my parents today. At least 52 people have died nationwide as a result of that historic Christmas weekend storm, with 28 of those deaths in western New York's Erie County. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has more on what authorities are calling the blizzard of the century.
Officials say it's the deadliest blizzard in 50 years. Some found in snowbanks, others in their cars, including Wanda Brown Steele's daughter.
It's so easy to ask yourself, why, God? Why?
Neighbors rushing to help. This group of friends on snowmobiles saving dozens of stranded residents, including Eddie Porter, who was stuck on the road for more than 19 hours.
These guys were helping people, and he said he knew a place he could take us, and he will help us out. I guess God's the angel. 100
military police heading to Buffalo to help manage traffic, where a driving ban remains in effect. Officials begging residents to stay off the roads.
There's a lot of roads that are completely blocked right now. that have no access whatsoever. Please, you heard the mayor beg, I'm begging. Stay home.
Emergency crews using forklifts to clear abandoned vehicles. But there are signs of progress. New York's Department of Transportation saying all major highways across western New York, including the New York State Thruway, are now open. The next big challenge for western New York, rising temperatures and potential rain. Erie County officials say they're preparing for possible flooding later in the week as temperatures rise and the snow begins to melt rapidly. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
Back here at home now, Crime Stoppers need your help identifying two suspects who robbed a Rack Room shoe store earlier this year. Take a look at these pictures. San Antonio police say back on August 6th, two people, including the man you see here, went into the store on Loop 410 and stole multiple items before fleeing in a four-door Chevy Impala. They are also accused of assaulting an employee there. If you have any information on who that suspect might be, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Their number 210-224-STOP. Gas prices are at record lows compared to last year, but that might not be the case for too long. The gas tracking website GasBuddy expects prices to rise in the summer. Right now, the national average is just over $3 a gallon. GasBuddy predicts the average could increase to $4 next May. That prediction based on how Americans drive during the summer months and the higher cost to produce summer-grade gasoline. Respiratory viruses are hitting families hard this season, and it could get worse. A surge expected following holiday parties and travel. Experts warning there are 3 viruses to be aware of in the next couple of months. You've heard about them: flu, RSV, and COVID-19. Indoor family gatherings and large crowds stuck at U.S. airports could contribute to a rise in new cases. According to the CDC, flu activity remains high but is declining. And although COVID-19 cases are increasing, the rate right now is steady and mild. The late Andy Perez is remembered as an architect who embodied the city where he grew up. The Burbank High School graduate whose father worked in the building trades was recruited by the late renowned architect O'Neill Ford. Perez went on to help create the UTSA School of Architecture, but Jesse Degollado says Andy Perez was perhaps best known for his devotion to historic preservation.
A hands-on lesson in building for these future architects is only part of the legacy left by Andy Perez. He helped create the UTSA School of Architecture and Planning as it is now.
He gave it its soul. He gave it its spirit. Its connection to the profession, its connection to historic preservation.
In a city awash in history, attracting visitors from around the world, and yet back then,
people kind of buried the fact of the true history of San Antonio. This was his office.
Until Cindy Perez says her late husband compiled historical studies, the basis, says Mark Blizzard, for San Antonio's historical districts that other cities wanted to do.
The way that we were dealing with the history of San Antonio.
I'm told Andy Perez envisioned what I'm doing now, being able to walk up the stairs from the San Antonio Riverwalk and see Main Plaza and the San Fernando Cathedral.
Because those doors of the cathedral are the origin point of the layout of San Antonio.
A settlement founded around its life-giving waters.
So looking at the relationship between the rivers, the creeks, the acequias, was a way that the Spanish organized their land.
This has to be right here on the inside.
Much like his passion for history and architecture, it said Andy Perez expected a lot from his students.
You either became a very good student or you did not with him.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Still ahead on the news at 5, many people and businesses use virtual private networks because they're believed to be more secure. But is your information really protected? Why it may be giving you a false sense of security when we come back. Hundreds of thousands of people do it, but are we doing it the right way? In a new KSAT Explains, we're talking recycling and organics. What can go in each of those bins, and what happens to them when they drive away from your curb? We're also talking about some of the items people have the biggest questions about, including those plastic bags. Plus, a group of military training instructors are celebrating their Hispanic heritage in a special way. what they say matters most to them in today's Front and Center profile. Nowadays, online safety is a big deal, so people use things like antivirus software and virtual private networks known as VPNs. But as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains, some VPNs may be giving you a false sense of security.
First, the basics. A VPN is a software service that routes data to and from your computer or phone through an encrypted tunnel. Elias Huerta has used one for months.
The number one reason that I got a VPN was to feel safer online in public places.
Sounds good, but testing by Consumer Reports found many VPNs don't live up to their claims.
When you are using a VPN, you are actually giving a VPN your data, and so there's a false sense of security where that VPN is able to access and use your data as they see fit.
Consumer Reports checked whether data was leaked and what the privacy policy said about how personal data might be used. Of the 16 VPNs tested, 3 came out on top: Mullvad VPN AB, iVPN, and Mozilla VPN.
These 3 VPNs did the best because they limited data sharing, they had accurate marketing messages, they included third-party audits of their programs, and they had open source code and modern protocols.
They say be wary of any VPN that promises to provide complete anonymity or to protect you from all advertisers, governments, or criminals online, or ones that offer military-grade encryption, which doesn't actually mean anything. Not everyone needs a VPN. One can offer protection if you're using free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, but it's not necessary if you're on a trusted network at home or work. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a live look outside with Sky 12 high above the Artisan River Theater where the Rico's River Rally is underway. It's the big pep rally ahead of the Alamo Bowl, which will be played Thursday night, featuring the Texas Longhorns and the Washington Huskies. Not bad weather to be out there tonight, Adam.
Well, and you know, it's what people would expect, some warmth around here when they're coming in from out of town, especially coming in from Washington. And we didn't have that around Christmas, that's for sure. And the days leading up to Christmas, things are changing though. The tides are turning and the warmth is on the way again. Above freezing temperatures for the foreseeable future. Even tonight will be above freezing. We had 6 days in a row featuring a temperature that dropped below freezing. That all comes to an end by midnight tonight and for the day tomorrow. 70s are just around the corner. And here's the key. Soon, no more chapped lips or dry skin. If you've been suffering from that and been kind of annoyed by it, just know the humidity is going to be rising. Let's take a look at that. We're going to start with the dew points that'll be on the rise. We had extremely dry air lately with dew points down below 0 just a few days ago. Now dew points in the 20s and 30s, so still very dry. But notice the dew point trend here as we go forward through the day tomorrow. Dew points rising up into the 50s, which in the summertime would feel fantastic. But this time of year, it's just going to add enough moisture to the air where you're not going to be noticing that dryness quite as much. And then as we get into Thursday, I think a hint of humidity. You'll notice a little mugginess outside with the dew points making it into the lower 60s locally and a little bit higher as you get closer to the Gulf Coast. And that really, really bitterly dry air that we dealt with leading up to and through Christmas, that's a thing of the past, at least for now. Our dew points will be ranging mostly in the 50s, but maybe dipping in the 40s at times over the next 6 days. There is another cold front early next week that could drop them a bit more, but we're not expecting that extremely dry air anytime soon. Also, that influx of added moisture in the air will likely lead to some areas of fog just for a few hours tomorrow morning. Notice our futurecast showing Bandera about a 2.8 mile visibility, San Antonio about 3 to 4 mile visibility. That's at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Just briefly, I think dense fog by Thursday morning. So tomorrow morning, a little bit of nuisance fog, but it could become more of an issue on the roadways Thursday morning. All right, let's talk temperatures. Right now we're at 59 degrees, south-southeasterly wind at 8 miles per hour, 64 Carrizo Springs, Kerrville, Rock Springs, 57, Gonzales right now, 59. South side of town at Stinson at 60 degrees, for the most part 50s to right near 60. Let's fast forward to tomorrow morning. Above freezing. Check this out. Even in the hill country, we're talking upper 30s. Utopia, 37. Canyon Lake, Bulverde, about 38, 39 for the morning temperature. And then by the afternoon, once we shake free from those low clouds early in the day, I think we'll get up right around the 70-degree mark. So anywhere from 68 in Bandera to 72 in Devine to 74 Floresville and Nixon. Temperatures keep warming up, though. We're talking mid to upper 70s by this upcoming New Year's weekend. Not only that, sunshine, so sunny and 70s this upcoming weekend, and then a little temperature drop as we go into next week, but no drastic cold front anytime soon. Here's the big picture, and you look across the nation. What really stands out is this activity from the Rockies westward, atmospheric river coming on shore, bringing all this Pacific moisture into the western U.S. and some heavy rainfall in parts of the western U.S., but good weather at the higher elevations in the Rockies for some of the ski resorts. Otherwise, around here, I wish we could tap into it. 20% chance Thursday, a 20% chance of a few showers on Monday. So it does look like 2022 will end as the second driest on record. Fog at about 8 a.m. at 38 degrees. Then by the noon hour, we'll see some sunshine right near 70 for that afternoon high, and morning lows only getting warmer, mostly in the 50s.
Guess it's time to evict the plants from the garage. Thank you, Adam. All right, Larry, the Spurs got the win last night, and a big part of that was due to a rookie.
Yeah, Malachi Branham, the Spurs' second first-round draft pick. He is a rookie, but you can just get the sense and the feeling that every game he's getting better and better. And last night, he had a career high. He is definitely on a tear. And in the NFL, Cowboys rookie Sam Williams was recently involved in a car crash. Well, now he can joke about it because he's okay. Coming up. The Spurs didn't have any injuries to report for the first time in more than a month yesterday before hosting the Utah Jazz. Devin Vassell led the Spurs with 24 points. Keldon Johnson scored 21, and rookie guard Malachi Branham led the second unit with the career-high 20 points to go with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in 26 minutes of action. He shot 7 for 11 overall, made 2 of his 4 three-point attempts. He's shooting 71.4% over his past 5 games. The Spurs beat the Jazz 126-122, and Branham delivered the best line of his young career.
Yeah, these last couple games, I've just been comfortable out there, being more aggressive, just playing my game. So I feel like me just being consistent, that's my biggest thing.
I think everybody really played a really good game. I could go down and rattle out everybody. I think I got to give shout out to Malachi, though. He stepped up big when his number was called, and it's a good thing for him.
Spurs are now in Oklahoma City, where they'll face the Thunder tonight at 7.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
With 2 games left in the regular season, Arizona Cardinals defensive end J.J. Watt announced on Twitter today that this would be his last NFL season. Watt tweeted in part, "My last ever NFL home game," which was yesterday. "My heart is filled with nothing but love and gratitude. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure." Now, Watt also attached 2 pictures of his family, including one with his son and wife. The Houston Texans drafted him 11th overall in the 2011 draft, and all he did was turn into one of the all-time NFL greats. Watt has 111.5 career sacks and is the only player to record 20-plus sacks in multiple seasons, doing that in 2012 and 2014. Dallas Cowboys rookie defensive end Sam Williams is very thankful this holiday season because he's alive after he was involved in a nasty car crash Thursday afternoon in Plano that totaled his brand new Chevy Corvette some 18 hours after he drove it off the lot. He was struck in the driver's side by another car attempting to turn in front of him, totaling his new ride. Williams said the crash put the holidays into perspective and can laugh about it now that he's okay.
It was crazy, and now it came out with some scratches. My beautiful face is messed up. Other than that, I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm blessed. I had fun time with my son and my family. My son got everything he wanted and plus more. It's just a blessing.
The other driver involved in the wreck is also okay. Williams missed the Christmas Eve game and hopes to play Thursday at the Titans, and those bruises you saw on his face, Gerber, from the airbags.
Wow. Yeah, glad he had them.
Yep.
Hope he had the Gap insurance, too. Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back.